The Inland Revenue Board is seeking 1.69 billion ringgit in additional tax assessments from former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Razak. This is according to court documents cited by The Edge. The IRB's 1.69 billion ringgit claim comes together with 5% interest per annum from the day of judgment until the sum is satisfied, plus the costs and any relief deemed appropriate by the court. The Taxman had initially slapped the Pekan MP with an extra tax bill for the assessment years of 2011 to 2017 to the tune of 1.47 billion ringgit. When Najib failed to pay up within 30 days, his bill grew by 10% or 147 million ringgit, and then by another compounded 5% or 80 million ringgit when he failed to settle the sum within 60 days. This confirms a report by The Edge Financial Daily in April, which, citing sources, said the amount is on top of what the former Prime Minister had paid based on his declared income for those 7 years. Riza Aziz, the stepson of ex-PM Datuk Seri Najib Razak, will be hauled to court tomorrow to face charges under the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act. MACC Chief Latifah Koya confirmed via text that Riza was arrested at noon today, although the film producer has since been released on bail. News reports earlier today said that Riza had been picked up by the MACC and that the charge he would face was in relation to Red Granite Pictures receiving 1MDB funds. Riza, who is the son of Datin Sri Rosmah Mansor from an earlier marriage, is co-founder of Red Granite. Last year, the company paid the US DOJ some $60 million to settle a lawsuit in the States, alleging that its movies were produced using millions in illicit money from 1MDB. However, it did not admit to any wrongdoing under the deal. The US returned $57 million after deducting for costs to secure the settlement and also to seize the equanimity. Star Media Group has appointed advertising veteran Andreas Veazaki as Group CEO with effect from August 13th. The Greek national was previously the CEO of Havas Media Group Malaysia, a position he had held from August 2016 till June 2019. Star Media said Veazaki began his career at advertising agency DMBMB in New York, after which he joined JWT in Athens, Greece, before heading to Asia. In 1997, Veazaki launched and ran MediaVest Japan, later merging it with Starcom, with a short stint in between as Vidon and Kennedy's media director for Nike, Uniqlo and Ben & Jerry's. In 2003, Veazaki moved to Taiwan as the CEO of the Mindshare Group, and in October 2016, he relocated to Malaysia to lead Omnicom Media Group. Star Media's CEO seat has been left vacant for 6 months after Datuk Sri Wong Chun Wai retired on January 1st. In March, The Edge reported that Star Media had appointed Prudential Assurance Malaysia's Wong Eng Teng as its head honcho. However, he turned down the position at the 11th hour after receiving a counter-offer from the insurance firm. A cabinet minister says foreign sovereign wealth funds are apparently shying away from Malaysia as Putrajaya has been slow to respond to their interest. Entrepreneur Development Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Ridzuan Yusof says funds from the Middle East, Russia and Japan have mooted the joint establishment of a development investment fund in particular to benefit small and medium enterprises. For instance, Bahrain's government has expressed interest to come to Malaysia to participate in the halal industry. There are also sovereign wealth funds from Russia that want to help relocate SMEs from China to Malaysia. Others want to be involved in infrastructure development. Muhammad Ridzuan says this has been raised to the relevant government agencies and regulators, but there has been no answer, he says, adding that the authorities need to work faster and cut down the red tape to support its business ecosystem. Kesas Holdings has accepted the government's offer for its concession for the Shah Alam Expressway. The company, which is 70% owned by Gamuda and 30% owned by Perbadanan Kemajuan Negeri Selangor, said its board and shareholders found the offer fair and reasonable. Yesterday, Litrak Holdings and its associate company Sprint Holdings resolved to accept Putrajaya's offer to take over LDP and the Sprint Highway. Last month, MOF Inc. offered to buy Litruck's subsidiary Lingkaran Transkota, which is the concessionaire for LDP, for 2.47 billion ringgit and 50% owned Sprint for 1.98 billion ringgit. Both offers are interconditional on each other and also interconditional on the offers for Kesas and Smart Tunnel. Gamuda and Kumpulan Perangsang Selangor have already announced they are in favour of accepting MOF Inc.'s offer for their 30% and 20% equity interest, respectively, in Sprint. Gamuda has also resolved to accept MOF Inc.'s offer to take over Kesas and Smart.